Good afternoon, and welcome to Todd Klindt SharePoint podcast number 301, recorded live Monday, August 8th, 2016, from Cincinnati, Ohio. Why? Because I'm your host, Shane Young. Thankfully for all of you, once again, Todd is no longer here. I don't know, he's off. Something about after he did episode 300, there was such a backlash that he was wanting to share screen time with me that they've decided that he can't be here, so I get to do 301 all by my lonesome again. So, woohoo! All right, as always, we'd like to thank sponsors, right? SharePoint.rackspace.com for all your SharePoint fun needs. And then, of course, Rackspace.com/Microsoft for all of your fun Microsoft needs, right? Hosting, Azure support, Office 365, SQL, Windows, they've got it all. So definitely go check them out. They always appreciate a little link love from this wonderful show. Production notes real quick. You know, Todd has finally caught up. He finally got all the episodes out through 299, which is really a shocker. You know, we joked last week, so we did 300 last week, and we joked that, you know, all the topical stuff wouldn't really matter. It could probably be 3 or 4 months before we published them, and I'm standing by that. 300 might be a while, but the good news is that all the stuff through 299 is out there, and you get to spend a lot of time with me in those late 290s. So, woohoo! Sadly, though, he will be back next week. He will be doing episode 302 without me. Unfortunately, though, without me, you know, that makes you all sad. But he's also going to have to do it without his executive producer, the lovely Miss Lori Gowan. Give her a round of applause. Yay! She holds this show together, and she will not be here next week. And Todd hasn't done the show by himself for like 6 months, so 302 might be a little sketchy. So anyway, you've been warned. All right, so jumping into the topics, looks like my first one here is Microsoft Surface as a service. So we'll link weep, and it's interesting. I found this link early last week. Microsoft is now making it so that you can purchase the Surface as a service. You know, you pay a monthly fee, and that finances the device, includes additional support, gives you different upgrade options. So it's an interesting model. You know, Microsoft really, I guess, taking that next step into the hardware space, you know, by offering the Surface in that manner. So be interesting to see how that goes, how many businesses actually latch onto it. I mean, the Surface overall, you know, it's been my only work computer for probably 3 years at least, and it's pretty good stuff. So, you know, and once again, it gives them another chance to do a little MRR, right? Monthly recurring revenue, which is something I've learned that is a very good thing in this world. Now, and speaking of my Surface Pro 4, Microsoft also last week released, you know we got the whole Windows 10 anniversary update. They also released a bunch of drivers and firmware for the Windows servers. Or not for the Windows servers, for Surface Pro 4s. And knock on wood, my desk is fake wood, so I think that counts. Or you do my head. But anyway, knock on wood, my Surface has actually been a lot happier with it, right? All the video problems, they've been worked out for a while. One of the things that I have been still having troubles with, though, is my Surface is not a big fan of going to sleep. So if it goes to sleep off of battery, it wouldn't wake up, right? It'd have to hard boot it every time. And I've tested it a couple times since that latest round of updates, and it's worked. So I don't know. I'm not ready to call the Surface Pro finally, you know, fully functional, but we're definitely moving in the right way. All right. Also, you know, this was a lot more funny this morning when I added it to the notes, but it's been kind of overdone to this point, and by the time you guys see this podcast in a month, it'll be old news. But we know the Olympics is going on, right? Remember, today is August 8th. But one of the pictures I saw today was, you know, remember, if you aren't feeling very productive, there is someone always that's working as a lifeguard in the Olympic pools. And so there's some great memes out there already, some different pictures of, you know, this big giant Olympic swimmer, all his big muscles, and then this tiny little lifeguard having to sit there on the side of the Olympics ready to jump in case, you know, he ate too much and didn't wait 30 minutes before getting back to the pool or something. So the internet's been having a lot of fun with that, and I thought it was pretty good stuff. So check those out. I also, though, I kind of think part of the reason for those memes are being so popular is they've usually got some hot swimmer guy, right, who's, you know, wearing nothing, with all them big muscles. Rawr. I mean, you know, like these muscles, you know, there you go. And so I think that's part of why the meme's been so popular, is the ladies like to share the those. But who am I? All right. So jumping right into issues. So one of the issues that I've been working on recently, apparently this show's title is going to be Hot Swimmer Guy. Great. I assume it's going to have a picture of my face. So that's kind of good. It actually works out. So you search Hot Swimmer Guy, you get a picture of this guy. Anyway, so one of the issues I've been working on is I've been doing my YouTube videos. I did a whole series, right, on, you know, how to go from nothing to how to install and configure SharePoint 2016 on-prem. Well, it turns out I might have been the first person to ever actually do that end-to-end. Because what I found was that in my farm, where I had all of the profile, or all the service applications, you know, user profiles, search, my sites, everything on-prem in my little VM, when I went and created my search content source, and I did my first full crawl, I was getting these weird error messages, and it's essentially like, hey, you can't find this HTTPS:// site master, blah, 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 good, right? Gotta get good in there. But with that, it was getting an error message. So every time I do a crawl, I get this error message that said, you know, cannot find, or wouldn't respond in time, you know, check your proxy settings and all that. And so with all of that, though, what I've done is I've figured out that it's part of the site master, so the fast site collection creation. So that's a feature that it's in SharePoint, right? And so when you provision a My Site host, it goes ahead and provisions the fast site collection creation. That's real easy to say for you for the personal sites. And so when I configured that, it went ahead and put all the plumbing there. But it was not able to index that site because the site doesn't actually exist, even though it shows up in the site collection list. So all you have to do if you're running into that error message is create a crawl rule that just says exclude HTTPS:// site master star, and then you won't have to worry about that message anymore. And it should keep you out of trouble. So, you know, hopefully you've ran into that, right? I find it baffling. I was the first person to actually mess with having both search on-prem and my sites on-prem in 2016. But just, I don't know, I thought I'd throw that out there. It's in the video as well if you want to see kind of how I solved it, but either way, just something to look for. And so speaking of videos, so the next series that I wanted to launch, and actually I'd like you guys' feedback on whether or not it's be a good idea or not, but I was going to just do the same series, you know, empty Hyper-V server to fully operational SharePoint 2013, because I know a lot of people are still rolling out 2013, so having all the fun step-by-steps for that's probably a good thing. So love your feedback whether or not you think it's worth investing my time in 2013. But one of the big challenges I've been having with 2013 is that, I don't know how else to put it, so my official guidance is going to be, there's just no good way to install SharePoint 2013 on Windows 2012 R2 server, right? And the reason for that is because in order for you to install SharePoint 2013 on Windows 2012 R2 is that you have to have a set with Service Pack 1 pre-baked in, and you can't just slipstream Service Pack 1. You actually have to do, you actually have to get the copy from Microsoft. And so they make it available on MSDN, the partner site, and the license key and all that. So if you have all those available, it's good. But there's not a trial copy out there. But even if you get the bits, the SharePoint 2013 bits that have Service Pack 1 baked in, after you do the install, as soon as you finish, what's the first thing you have to do? You have to reinstall Service Pack 1, because apparently the bits of Service Pack 1 that they slipstreamed in don't actually slipstream in the correct bits the correct way. So you have to reinstall the Service Pack. And that just seems so janky to me. So I'm just going with the theory that if you're the type of person who is still installing SharePoint 2013, let's not be cutting edge on your operating system and try and do 2012 R2. I'd still go back and do either 2008 R2 or 2012. One of those versions is a little more correct, I think. So anyway, that was a big circle. We just kind of went back and forth on, you know, well, if you do it this way, from this angle, you can get this to work, and this thing, it's not worth the effort, so stay away. The chat room is currently making fun of me. Apparently I said jakey instead of janky. I don't know, or maybe Daniel Glenn just needs to clean out his ears, but I said janky. So anyway, next up in my list of notes here is, speaking of the videos, I launched one today on Azure Videos, creating domain controllers. So taking one on Azure, creating 2 domain controllers and deploying those. And so making a new Active Directory for us with those. A couple of things that I covered with those that I think are worth noting. The first thing I covered is the portal confusion. And I tweeted about this as well. And the world didn't seem to have any more rights to say about it, right? But when it comes to Azure portals, I can find 3 right now, okay? There's portal.azure.com, and that's the one I think you all should be using, right? It's the new portals. It's got the fancy little blades that pop in and out. Not all the features are there, but really portal.azure.com, that should be your home base. It is possible still to go to what we call the classic, aka a really old portal and that's at manage.windowsazure.com. And so that one, if some of the features that haven't been ported to the new portal will redirect you over there. So if you get shoved over there, you have to deal with it. But overall, that shouldn't be your home base anymore. And then we also found a third portal called ms.portal.azure.com. And if you go there, it's actually a little preview icon up in the corner. But in all my poking and prodding, I actually think it's the old preview portal, not a new preview portal. So I've just been staying away from that one because I can't find any good reasons to go there. No one knows how you end up there, but I swear to you, I was just clicking through the interface one day and somehow I jumped over there and it really confused me. So anyway, I covered that in the video so you kind of know which one of those to look forward to. And then the other thing that I do in the video is, there have been other videos around creating domain controllers and stuff in Azure, but they all use a bunch of PowerShell because it used to be in the old portal you had to use PowerShell to set static IPs and update DNS and things like that. And so I walk through the new interface of how to do all that. So everything I do in my Building Out series is done via the clicky with the mouse. And I don't know. So hopefully that helps you guys. Also cover availability sets, resource groups, and virtual networks, a bunch of other little pieces you need to go. And so I can also tell you that the chat room is currently very mad at me. They all believe that the classic portal is the way you should go. I guess maybe this is the advantage that, I took a little break there in the middle. And so when I came back to Azure, I decided just to start with the fancy one. Right. So, but it just goes down to there's some things you can only do in the classic portal. There's some things you can only do in the new portal. So in reality, you just end up kind of needing to understand both. That's why I covered both of them. So everyone kind of had this idea that they were both out there. So the next, what we need to do is, let's see, we talked about all that. So then also we have the Microsoft Authenticator. And so Microsoft Authenticator is coming out actually on 8/15. Once again, it'll be old news by the time this podcast gets produced. But the Authenticator, the idea is it's going to combine the old Azure Authenticator, the Microsoft Account app, and the app just called Authenticator. It's going to roll all those into one streamlined experience. So that way you'll be able to have a better experience there. And when it comes to all that stuff, so as you're going to see, there's a new UI. They added support for wearables, right? So you can just click your fancy little Apple Watch and say, yep, authenticate. They also added fingerprint readers if you're using iOS and Android apps, certificate-based authentication, and even, or on your seats, there's support for Windows Phone. Can you believe that? I struggle to believe that. But anyway, thought that was pretty neat that they're finally launching a new app there, and they put the post out ahead of time because apparently they're afraid some of the enterprises needed a little more time to deal with it. So if you need to work through any of those, then you will be able to start looking at some of those new features and get more multi-factor authentication in your life. Who doesn't want more multi-factor authentication? I'll also tell you that while so we linked to the article here, there's a little bit in his blog post, but really if you jump down the comments section where people start answering questions, he's actually been answering questions, and there seems like there's almost more information through the comment stream than there is in the actual blog post. So probably worth checking out if you need to. All right, so I think that actually gets me through all my topics. See, without Todd here to stop me or cause me to drone on and on and on, we get through this stuff pretty fast. So we'll jump into shameless promotions. Looks like Todd's still thinking he's going to Microsoft Ignite September 26th through the 30th. That is in Atlanta. I don't know if he's put out the sessions that he's going to be doing for that yet, but should be fun. I am still trying to weasel my way in there. I haven't weaseled in there yet, though. If you guys have any connections, ways to get me there, I'm looking for a, I'm really looking for a pass, right? Because I can sleep on Todd's couch or make Todd sleep on the couch. I'll sleep on his bed, and I can get all that handled. I just need somebody to get me a pass. So Lori's going to Ignite. A lot of different people are getting to go, so it should be a fun time. So then we're exporting Todd. Unfortunately, there are no export restrictions on him. So we're going to send him off to SharePoint Days in Slovenia, October 24th and 25th. That's in Bled, Slovenia. And so he has lots of stories and things. You guys are probably bored hearing him talk about that, but I did my due diligence here and explained it to you that he was going again. And then as soon as he leaves there, he'll be jumping over to the SharePoint Exchange Forum in Stockholm. Todd goes every year, has been going for as long as I can remember. So that should be fun. Maybe one day I'll go over there. I don't know. I'm kind of scared of travel. I'm a big wimp. Atlanta's like a 6-hour drive. It seems pretty far. So, so anyway, Todd will be at the SharePoint Exchange Forum. And then last but not least is my own shameless promotion. Right? Go out to my YouTube channel and check it out. And really, I don't care. Don't even check it out. I need you guys to go out